Breaking news, Chargers fans. We've got the great news that you've been waiting for all offseason. Khalill Mack is back, and he is returning to the Los Angeles Chargers. It's not just that he's returning to the NFL. He's not retiring. He is going to be playing with the Chargers as they go all in right now on what feels like is going to be their 2026 NFL season. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. You can tell I am not coming to you from the Chat Sports Studios. And the reason for that is because, well, it was an off day. And even on my off days, I'm working my butt off for you, and I'm going to make sure that you are covered in any of the latest or greatest news around your favorite team. All right, here is what is important right now to know. Khalill Mack, he is re-signed with the Chargers, so do not have to worry about one of the key edge rushers that you have been speculating, could they return, could they not return, between Khalil Mack and Odafe Oweh. Now, Khalil Mack, he is re-signed on a 1-year, $18 million fully guaranteed contract. This is coming to us from ESPN's Adam Schefter. That makes a ton of sense, right? That is the smart decision. That is the correct decision for this Chargers team. You knew you were going to have to give up quite a bit of capital, and I do feel like the moves yesterday with your center position allowed yourself to be able to come in and pay Khalil Mack because you knew that you were going to have extra money set aside. If the Chargers had gone out and signed someone like Tyler Linderbaum, well then, hey, there wouldn't be enough money set aside or available to be able to pay Khalil Mack. Now, what does Khalil Mack bring this Chargers team? He brings you stability and veteran leadership. What he is not going to bring you is 2019 Khalil Mack. You're not going to get 2021 Khalil Mack, 2022 Khalil Mack. That just isn't where he's at right now in his career. Where he's at right now in his career is a veteran leader, someone who plays football extremely well, knows how to attack certain offenses, knows how to still get the job done on his end. What do I mean by that? I mean that Khalil Mack knows how to come in and stop a rushing attack that another team wants to engage in. He knows how to attack a passer depending on what type of set this team is going to run with their offensive line. Are they a three-quarter team? Are they a full slide team? Are they a man type of team? However they are going to plan to attack the Chargers, Khalil Mack is going to bring you that. And what Khalil Mack does a great job of, and I do think that a lot of people don't talk about this with him, is his ability to help the rest of the offense, or defense, I guess I should say, help the rest of the defense understand what the offense is trying to do. Khalil Mack's been around the block for quite some time. He knows exactly how teams are going to plan to attack this Chargers team and attack this Chargers defense. He's a 9-time Pro Bowler, for goodness sakes. So when you look at a guy like Khalil Mack, getting him back on this team was maybe number 2 or 3 most important things to do. I feel like when you look at this Chargers offseason, it was, or at least going into free agency, it was get a good center, get Odafe Oweh back, get Khalil Mack back. Because now, at the very minimum, let's say things go awry, you're not able to get Odafe Oweh back. Guess what? You got Khalil Mack back, and he's going to be able to do a lot of what Odafe Oweh was able to do. He's going to have a slightly smaller snap share than he has had in the past. He's going to definitely have to take more plays where he's on the sideline because he's an older football player. But Khalil Mack is still someone, make no bones about it, that can play football in the National Football League at a high level. And that's what's most important. I also think the news of Max Crosby being traded to the Baltimore Ravens makes it easier for the Chargers to get Odafe Oweh back. So now it feels like there is a true blue path and a really good path for the Chargers to be able to get not just Mack back, because they already have, but also getting Odafe Oweh back, which I think is important. Let me know right now down below in the comment section what your one-word response is to the Khalil Mack signing. Let me know what your opinion is down below in the comment section. I'll tell you right now, my one-word reaction, about time. And I know that that's two, but I'm going to condense it into one and say about time. It's fantastic. Maybe that's a better way to go with my one-word reaction. It's a fantastic move. And I get it. This isn't something that's going to set you up for long-term success, because at this point, Khalil Mack is on a year-to-year basis on when he officially is going to end up retiring. But you don't need him to be here for 2, 3, 4 years down the road. The Chargers are going all in. The Chargers are very clearly letting everyone know that not only are they trying to keep up with everyone in the AFC, they're trying to keep up with the NFC, specifically the NFC West and the Los Angeles Rams, who of course you share a building with, but more importantly, the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks just won a Super Bowl, and they won that Super Bowl after going into the year not expected to even be the third best team in their division. And they were able to do that because they went out and they had a quarterback that they knew could get the job done in what they were going to ask of him. Now, Justin Herbert is going to be asked of to do more because he is a better quarterback than Sam Darnold, and that's going to be fair. They ran the football at an extremely high rate. That's Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel is going to come in and set up an offense that you run the football at an extremely high rate. Remember, the Seahawks won a Super Bowl with Clint Kubiak. Clint Kubiak, the offensive coordinator, he's a Mike Shanahan disciple. He's a Kyle Shanahan disciple, because they're all part of that Shanahan tree, right? Mike taught Kyle, Kyle taught Clint. Guess what? Mike McDaniel, he was taught by Kyle as well. We all know this. Excuse me. But Kyle Shanahan created this offensive type of scheme that Mike McDaniel is going to run. You are going to be built off of the running attack that makes it easier for the passing attack. When you look at the defensive side of the football, guess what? Jesse Minter is a disciple, a part of the coaching tree of Mike Macdonald. Jesse Minter helped coach Coach O'Leary, who is now the defensive coordinator, who is technically a disciple of Minter. So by the transitive property, he is also the disciple of Mike Macdonald. Also couple in the fact that Jim Harbaugh, that dude doesn't lose. He's just crazy enough to make sure that his teams never lose. Why? Because he cares about winning, and he gets the most out of his players. So you're telling me that General Manager Joe Ortiz is making sure that the Chargers are able to bring in as many people as possible while also making sure that they are designing a offensive and defensive scheme in the exact spitting image, maybe even a slightly better version of it, because let's be honest, I think Mike McDaniel, is a better offensive mind, better offensive coordinator than I would say Clint Kubiak is. You are designing your offense and your defense to be the same and to be an even better version of what the Super Bowl champions were. That's what you're doing. You're going all in. It's clear that's what you want to do in LA. And I think the last thing that's most important, as I keep drawing comparisons over to the Super Bowl champions, who was one of the most, if not the most important defensive edge rusher presence for the Seahawks? It was a guy by the name of DeMarcus Lawrence, who was at the tail end of his career and who wanted to make sure that he won a Super Bowl. Kind of sounds like Khalil Mack. And I would say this, actually, Khalil Mack is a better version of DeMarcus Lawrence. They both play the run really well. They both get after the passer. But let's be honest. If you had to choose at the beginning of their career, whose career would you want at the very end, Khalil Mack or DeMarcus Lawrence? It's not an easy choice, but it's Khalil Mack. So right now, you're telling me that this defense in LA is going to be able to draw a ton of comparisons to that defense that just won the Super Bowl in Seattle. That was a historically great defense in Seattle. And you're getting the offense to be the same, if not a better version. Because the quarterback is better, because the play caller is better. Feel pretty darn good. You got to feel pretty darn good. Thank you guys so much for viewing today's video. Go down below in the comment section and grade the Khalil Mack signing A, B, C, D, E, or F. You don't have to do E because no one does E. E's for everybody. I'll tell you right now, it's an A signing. It's an A signing. At worst, it's a B+. You're bringing back Khalil Mack, a guy who can stop the run and get after the passer, and he's going to be a veteran leader for this defense. That's freaking awesome. Shout out to him. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. You don't want to miss any of the content that we have here on the channel, Chargers Now. And what's most important, NFL free agency is right around the corner. We're going to have you covered on all the latest and greatest news, so don't miss out. Thank you guys so much for viewing today's video, and bolt up.